This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, ostensibly being 6 p.m., we'll bring the November 5th, 2025 Tilton Budget Committee to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God.
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great, thank you guys for coming. I guess, well, whoever was first, I think, doesn't matter. Hi, Don.
Please remember to talk in the mic.
Oh, yeah, I always forget. Get over here.
So thanks for coming. I know you've been here before, so you know the drill.
I do know the drill, and I look forward to meeting with you all, answering any questions. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dawn Schimberg. I have a lifesaver in my mouth. Okay, and I'm the director of the Youth Assistance Program. I've been there for a long, long time, a long time. And the program is still there today, and it's still doing the work it needs to do. So I did bring brochures. I don't know if anybody would like one. Sure.
Sure.
Sure. Okay, good.
I have mine from last time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great, thanks. Something new that I haven't seen before.
Thank you.
So would you like me to start with a little bit of an
Sure,
overview?
yeah, why don't you give us an
Okay.
overview, especially of the budget? I think we're pretty aware of your processes, but.
Okay. Okay. Well, on the little questionnaire that Sue had sent, the first one is, what changes have you made to the organization? So that the changes that have recently were made this year have more to do with budget. Okay, so one of the things you probably noticed in my proposal or my request is that the health insurance has changed, and it has changed from Cigna, which was a two-person policy that I had, to a, can't always pronounce, a Kisera,
yeah.
that's it, okay. And it stands for Qualified Small Employer Health Reimbursement Agreements. And so what it does is, instead of being an insurance policy, it helps to reimburse expenditures. And there's a cap on it by the federal government per year. In 2026, it'll be $13,100. And that's the cap. It doesn't mean that reimbursements will go to that amount. Okay, but it just, that's where it stops. So so that's different. And another thing that happened that was different is that I became old enough to, I know you can't, you think that's not true, but I am old enough for Medicare. Okay. And so that I went on Medicare instead of having a health insurance policy.
Does this require a monthly payment?
There is a benefits administrative fee, and that was just under $1,000 for the year.
Oh,
So-
okay. And
so-
then the reimbursement on top of that.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So that is a substantial savings over what the health insurance policies were costing. So that is the biggest change in our financial picture. I think that my board they wanted to advocate for an adjustment to my salary as opposed to an increase. So they've approved it to go to 70,000, which is a pretty big jump, and I understand that. Okay, and the rationale was that last year during the budget season, one of the town officials had said, that's pretty low. So we looked into it a bit, and they felt that it was low. And it's really, really hard to compare. Okay, youth assistance program is a very small agency. As you know, it's
Mhm.
just me. Okay. Me and a lot of wonderful volunteers. Okay. And so across the state, we are the smallest juvenile court diversion program. Okay. And town funded. So the programs across the state, some are town funded, some are grant funded, some are city funded. A lot of them have executive directors and various pieces. So the program that I do a lot of work with is the Katie program in Plymouth, because that is more like the youth assistance program, even though they have more employees. And so we kind of we take a lot of, support and help from them.
Mhm.
And that's where we went to look at the figures.
What was the name of the place in Plymouth?
Katie, it stands
Oh,
for,
Katie.
are you familiar with Katie?
No.
Okay, it stands for Communities Against DUI, Drugs for Youth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they do a restorative justice program, and they have for a long time. Okay.
They have a very active one in Plymouth.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what she was talking.
That's the one. That's the one I'm familiar with. Yeah, and we work closely. As a matter of fact, sometimes we've been able to share some curriculums and definitely go to for ideas and support. There is a statewide network of diversion programs too, and that's where I get a lot of information and support from.
But your salary figure was based on what Katie, I spelled it wrong, Katie was their employee?
Yeah, it really was. And so it's actually a little disheartening because I think I've lived long enough that, you kind of go up, 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 but then the world gets a little crazy. And then, so like, and I'm not saying it shouldn't be like that. I'm just saying that it's all of a sudden really weird. So their restorative justice person, she gets like $33 an hour. Okay, now she is part-time, but she doesn't do any administrative work. She strictly does the juvenile court diversion. And so this would bring my salary to that 33, yeah, which would be good. That'd be a help for sure. But it all it all depends on what you guys can do too.
Yeah, it seems like they've been trying to catch you up because
Yes.
7.5%, 7%, and then finally they just said, hey, let's just get up to this.
Yes, and then after that, just do the cost of living. Because I think prior to that, most of it was, and I think most of it was cost of living, 2%, 2.5% during COVID. I didn't get a raise at all because life was just kind of weird, all the way around. We didn't know, even if you'd have funds, so yeah. So the other piece, unless you have more questions on that,
No.
the other piece is I do get the from the Department of Health and Human Services, a juvenile diversion grant. And that's the one that I've been getting for the past few years. It's been really helpful. We were on pins and needles because so many things were cut this year that we did take a hit, but we still are getting a sizable amount.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was really good news. I have the figure here. I think it's 27,500 for the fiscal year. So that started July 1. And so going into 2026, we still have another half of that amount that it goes to fill any funding gaps, and then it goes to reimburse the towns. So I can give you some figures on what, there's one question I was like, oh boy, like look at these questions. Okay, we're still, I'm like, oh boy, this one question, I'm like, oh, okay. It's what's the biggest increase / decrease in funding in the last 2 years? So I looked at what you all appropriated and then what you paid. And so if you want me to do that for the last few years, I can just tell you what those figures are.
She gives us a list.
So you have all that of what
Yeah.
you paid and what was appropriated? Okay, and that gives you an idea of how the grant offsets the taxes.
And Tim tells us what comes back from that other grant.
Oh yeah, he's really good. Okay.
Yeah.
But 1 year, and I think you might be looking at this 1 year, y'all decided to take that first half of the part of the grant off right at the
Mhm.
beginning.
Yeah, that was 24.
Yeah. So that's why that one is lower. So when it said, what's your biggest, difference, that looks like a huge difference. But it was just that you got the money first instead of having it come in through the year.
So you'll tell us when you get the money and then it could come in first again?
coming in first is not the state's way of doing it. The state one. Are you surprised? Okay, I mean, I don't know. I shouldn't say that because this is being taped. No, but the state has what they would prefer is that they reimburse as the year goes on. And what they say too is that even though it's been awarded, it could change at any time.
So even though you've been approved, you may or may not get that amount or at all?
Yes, but we have always gotten it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's
So how much is for this half? That's 62.55? 6,255?
6,255. Let me see.
Says the amount of 6,255 will be deducted from the amount Tilton appropriates.
Oh, well, if it, excuse me, if that's what it said on the last one, that's what it would be. Okay, because
Yeah.
you've already gotten that for the first quarter of the fiscal year, July 1, and
Mhm.
then you'll get that for this quarter that we're
Yeah,
in
so they're
now,
saying
and there'll be
for
2 quarters left.
January 1st to June 30th, 26 will be the 62.55.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, how pretty it is.
And how's your caseload been this year?
It's been busy. It's been busy. It's been pretty regular. I just started, I do prevention work in the schools. So I meet with all of the middle school students in their classrooms. So that's always a good outreach. And it's also
That's great.
a good thing to work with them on prevention. So we just started the 5th grade, which of course has been at the middle school now for a few years.
Yeah.
And and then in the latter part in the spring, I'll be working with the 7th and the 8th graders. And I just completed the 6th graders. So that keeps me busy. And the referrals are definitely still coming in.
Mhm.
So again, just a reminder, the state of New Hampshire is trying very hard to continue to steer children to community programs as opposed to juvenile court. Okay, so that has been kind of an uptick, and we work more with them, so we spend more time with them, with the juvenile diversion, board meeting and with the contracts, and so yeah, so they get more attention than they would if they went to court. Now, that doesn't mean that some kids don't need the oversight of the court. Yeah, some really do, but some of the cases I'm getting are more complicated.
Sometimes it's the parents that are more complicated.
You're so right. You're so right.
I know somebody going through something and it's the parents. So,
Yeah, it is. It's really got a lot of depth to it and a lot of facets.
yeah,
Hmm.
sad.
Hmm.
So yeah, the prevention I think is really super important.
Yes.
That's glad that that's fairly new. I mean, in the last 10 years or something.
Yeah, it has been added
Yeah.
as we've gone along because historically it started off as strictly juvenile court
Right,
diversion, first time offenders, and it did save a lot of money and helped kids stay out of the court system. But then we did add educational programs. So like my middle school referrals, a lot of times are not have not necessarily committed an offense that is prosecutable. Okay, but they've been like, hands on, poking, punching, pushing, and then they get referred to me for positive decision making, and and I work with them, and then hopefully we can kind of prevent that from escalating to something more.
Who refers to you? The schools?
Just going to ask that.
Sometimes at the middle school level, it's often the schools. It's also the school resource officer because he is in both middle and high school. So a lot of my referrals come from Peter Glines. Do you remember him when he was a boy? Yes. So do I. But I do get them, I get them also from the PD if it's an offense that's committed in the community. Okay.
Can a parent call you up with a problem child?
They can. They can. They just can't leave them off or her off. Okay? And they have to come pick them up.
Yeah.
Okay. I did just recently get a referral from ACERT. So that's another source, and so if you're not familiar with ACERT, they go in often to families who have like maybe an incident at home where the police respond, and maybe there's younger children or there's teenagers also in the home. So there's like an initial kind of referral to ACERT, and they meet with the parent and just want to make sure that those kids are supported, okay, and make them aware of any resources that that we have in the community that might be beneficial to their youth. And so I just got a referral from that. Just met with the young person at the high school today.
Who is Acer?
ACERT. Oh, you're going to ask me what it
Letters.
Yeah, what does it
stand for
mean?
something.
adverse child.
ACERT.
Please
spell
help me.
ACERT.
I believe it's AC.
Is it in here?
It is ACERT. No, it's not in my paperwork.
ACERT?
Yes.
Okay.
And I believe the first two words are adverse childhood. So what they're trying to do is, help limit.
That's a state program or?
It's not
Or-
state. It's they do probably have some funding, but it's more regional.
Okay.
Okay, so do you know Mia Annis?
Adverse Childhood Experiences Response Team.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Oh, I never heard of that.
Now we should need to remember it. But what happened is it's probably been at least 5-6 years, even more maybe. And what they were noticing is that children, elementary school, we're seeing more, aggressive behaviors. And a lot of those kids were at home witnessing, traumatic things. So again, that's why they have this program where they actually reach out to the parents when the police have contacts, and the police will give the parent the information. Now they don't have to get involved, but sometimes they will, because you might be dealing with so much that you're not realizing that the children are witnessing all of this and that it's traumatizing. And it's not just domestic violence. I mean, it could be, an overdose in the
Car
family where
accident,
somebody dies, an
overdose,
accident.
trauma,
Yeah. They got the whole list there. It's a
terrifying.
lot. Mm-hmm.
You asked if we knew Mia.
Mia Annis. She does the ACERT program in this area.
That sounds kind of like a mental health body.
It's more of a, what would you say? Kind of like, it's more of like a resource directory. Okay, so she'll come in, she'll talk to the parent, she'll find out, the youth that got referred to me was also caught at home vaping.
Okay.
So the mom wanted to, the parent wanted to have some resources for that. So she got referred to YAP for that. Okay. It's also because she is a high school student. It's also somebody I had in 8th grade. Okay. So clearly we didn't prevent the vaping as much as we hoped, but she knows me. So she already has that support, and now she'll go through the vaping program at Youth Assistance, and have that.
Great. Any other questions? All right, we've been here a long time, so we know that it's a valuable program, but thanks for coming in.
Well, thank you for
If
having
we have any
me.
more questions, we'll get in touch with you.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Awesome. Good.
Okay, we must have the Lakes Region Visiting Nurse Association. For sure.
Thank you all so much for having us.
Sure.
My name is Erin Josby. I have the privilege of serving as the Chief Executive Officer of Lakes Region VNA. I've served in that capacity for about the last year and a half, and I'm joined by my friend and colleague, Jim Harnett, who's our Chief Financial Officer. So we want to answer any questions that you have. If it's helpful, I can start just by giving you a little bit of background about our
Sure, that'd be
organization.
great. Yeah.
Great.
yeah.
So we've been around for more than 100 years now, which is kind of inconceivable given how much healthcare changes.
You don't look that old.
I know. I don't look a day over. And but it is, even despite that shifting landscape, I think what's always been true is that people do better when they can recover in their homes. And to look at aging in place as part of community wellness, and we want to do all we can to ensure that that can be achieved with the highest quality of care, with the most competent staff. I'm incredibly proud of the fact that we are the only 5-star CMS rated hospice provider in this area. There are only 2 CMS 5-star hospices that serve all of New Hampshire, and we're one of them. We've also in the last year achieved 3 stars in our We Honor Veterans program. And again, I think that this just highlights both the quality that we bring and the kind of differentiated care that we seek to provide to our community. I'll let Jim speak to some specific numbers and answer
Sure.
some questions
Sure.
that way. But any questions about what I've just told you?
Well, I do have a question. I mean, we've been, of course, employing the Franklin Visiting Nurse Association. What, are you in the same umbrella as them? Just a different county?
So
And we've never had you here before.
I know. So thank you very much for having
Yes.
us. So what I'll start by saying is we actually are very rich in the number of home health agencies that we have that serve our communities. And Franklin is a peer organization. They are different. Each of us will believe that we have things that differentiate us. As I told you, we're really proud of our We Honor Veterans and our CMS 5-star rating. But the truth is that every patient deserves to have choice. So to choose between the agencies, whatever works best from them, a personal relationship with people who work in one place. We're all invested in these communities. We serve 40
communities.
40 different communities now. And so again, there's certainly, there's no ill will between us. In fact, we share best practices. Some of us will have clinicians that work per diem for the other organization. And I think it's fair to say, especially in these times, that we're all committed in whatever way we can to the health and well-being of our friends and neighbors.
So you've been in Belknap County for 100 years?
More than 100 years
And
now.
this is the first time you've come here. I'm just curious why that is now.
Well,
I mean, we are in Belknap County, I know.
Yes.
sure, for sure. Well, Aaron and I are new to the organization, and it was between the two of us. We decided it was time to come and meet you all
Okay, great.
and present who we are. And,
Sure.
get to know our neighbors.
And also have some numbers about the type of services that we've provided in Tilton
Okay, yeah,
to make
yeah.
it resonate. So we're not just, here to talk about us, but really about the citizens of Tilton who we've had the privilege of working with. So to that end.
Yeah, I have your questions. So changes that we've made in the past year, we had many vacant leadership positions that were open that we had backfilled. There were no other major changes to our overall organization. Just some management updates. Our fiscal year is from October 1 to September 30.
Thank
So
you.
we're entering the new year now. We currently staff 85 full-time and per diem staff members. We have 20 volunteers. And are we fully staffed? We are currently looking to add more clinical staff to expand our services and get, grow more of our catchment area. Our volunteers given expenses? No, they are not. They each work approximately 3 hours a month for us. And they are obligated, we are obligated to have volunteers provide 5% of our costs related to hospice.
That's a CMS compliance issue.
How many Tilton residences used your services? In fiscal year 2025, we had 30 unique patients to Tilton alone, including 2 patients that we contributed $4,000 total in charitable care. Do you use money received from Tilton for resident only? So we put our funds, all funds that we receive, donations, et cetera, into a general fund that we then invest back into having community wellness programs, charitable care where necessary. So yeah, we don't necessarily pocket it or
we
Uh,
don't direct it that way. The only other thing I would say where these funds go is for professional development and tuition reimbursement. So we don't think that that 5-star rating.
Would you
can-
speak into the mic?
Oh, sure. Sorry about that. I'm a loud New Yorker by background. I always presume. But we don't presume that that quality comes from nowhere. Healthcare changes so rapidly, and to stay ahead of best practices, we feel very passionately about tuition reimbursement for our staff. And we provide 3 to 4 scholarships for graduating high school seniors who are pursuing careers in the clinical sciences.
Yeah, and this year we had the opportunity to host a community wellness event at the senior center in Tilton related to staying strong and staying safe. I believe it was well attended. 25 Tilton residents had gone to that. So we look forward to investing more in that community.
Mhm.
It's a great place. I was in that senior center and it was very.
Yeah, it's been very popular.
What are the biggest decrease to funding? Well, we're seeing continued decreases to our patient reimbursements, and that's from Medicare, Medicaid. And the challenge going into the next year is, and we have it hanging over our heads. CMS has said that they're able to cut our reimbursement rates up to 25% additional from where it is now. Hasn't
Who's
been
cutting
voted
it?
on.
CMS, Medicare.
So they announced that, I'd say 6 months ago, to just kind of give us all a heads up in our budgeting.
Mhm.
That would be devastating, to put it lightly, to all the organizations around here, to hospitals, any healthcare provider, just be devastating. So a continued challenge is to manage to these unknowns and the knowns. And other insurance providers, they're also cutting their reimbursement rates. What other revenue do we have? We have private donors on top of the Medicare and the privates.
This is business and individuals. So is it business donors or individual donors or?
It's mostly individual
Yeah,
donors.
Mostly individual
mostly
people?
family members.
Okay.
In memory of.
Mhm, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we don't necessarily solicit. We haven't been soliciting much from the individual donors. But they've been really generous
Mhm.
to us. Like they
Right.
see the service we provide,
Mhm.
and to honor a lost family member, they pass it forward.
Sure.
So this fiscal year 25, we received funds from 16 different towns. The total
Okay.
was 240,000.
Is there a list here for that? That was one of my questions. I
Um,
didn't see what you
I will have
requested
that
from the other towns.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
that'd be
I will
great.
absolutely provide that.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Question.
So why are we asking for money if we have healthy bank and investment accounts? Well, we're looking to expand community service. But again, our increased costs, decreasing reimbursement rates, they're taking a toll on the cash reserves. Things are not getting cheaper.
Mhm.
Everyone knows it. And again, having these looming reimbursement cuts over our heads, we certainly are looking to create a little more of a cushion.
Mhm.
And as a nonprofit, we are mandated to fundraise when we can. So that's just a challenge that we're facing, and I'm sure you'll hear from Franklin, the same challenges.
Sure.
We do have capital reserve funds, and they are currently 65% cash equivalent, 35% fixed, so very liquid, basically on demand. Days notice, cash in hand.
Is that
Um,
on your balance sheet?
Yes.
Should
Should
be.
be the $600,000 number.
New Hampshire Trust,
That's correct.
65% liquid?
Yes.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I've got my cheaters. I've got my glasses. So. Percentage of funding from federal and state governments, 0%. Grants we've applied for, we've received a grant through Dartmouth Hitchcock. I don't know if you want to kind of
Sure,
elaborate.
we're really excited. We were chosen along with Beata to participate in a Levy incubator grant through Dartmouth Hitchcock that's designed to expand palliative care services into the home as an extension of primary care. So to really think creatively about how clinicians can have a better understanding, a better internalization and documentation of a patient's goals of care, their value system. So I'm now speaking as a recovering primary care doctor, right? We get 15 minutes with you while you're naked in a Johnny. It's not really a great time to ask you, how long do you think you're going to live and how do you want that to go? So how can we be really creative in working with the really great team at Dartmouth Hitchcock and think about how we can resource those kind of conversations differently so that patients feel dignity and agency and like they're heard. So we're really looking forward to see how this plays out. We'll be working with them over the next 18 months. And I think good things are going to happen.
So they financially giving you grants or?
So we, in working with them, we have a budget for how much of our time. So like, for example, our social worker, if she were deployed to go and have some of these conversations, there's a fixed cost that goes with that by the hour. And so we can be reimbursed for our time. We try and be really judicious about what it is that we ask reimbursement for. We want that money to last the whole of the 18 months.
Yeah, and additionally, we had submitted an application for the John Sargent Fund that was in Belmont, help out a lot of nonprofits in the area. And we actually were awarded a fund, some funds from them last year. And we just reapplied again this year. So folks find us, they're referred by their primary care doctor, local hospitals, our skilled nursing facilities in the area, website. They can walk in. We have 2 physical locations, one in Bristol, one in Meredith, and through our community presence that they, and the materials that we put out a lot of material, collaterals, advertising who we are, what we do. And of course, there's family referrals. Folks qualify for our programs. I mean, it's generally determined by the third-party insurance carriers, Medicare, Medicaid, and the other third parties. But our wellness events are always free that we host.
Where do you host those?
So we like to go into all the senior centers within the individual towns.
So you go to ours?
Yeah, we did one in September. Where we've done events in Belmont, up in Plymouth. We've hosted some in Tamworth. This year we put on 10 individual flu clinics within towns in the area, and I believe Franklin got to Tilton first because you were on our list of towns that we wanted to have a flu clinic for.
Engage with the libraries, the senior centers. Our goal is just like going to the home because that's where the patient is, but to also then go to the community centers where people are already used to going and providing interesting talks. So we've done one that's been very popularly received on, what does successful aging in place look like? I'm sure it won't shock you. Nobody really wants to go to a talk that's like called Hospice 101. But how can we start to educate people as to what their options are? How can we make people comfortable with what does aging in place really look like? How can you stay safe and balanced and at decreased fall risk? How can we leverage our social workers as resources so that, again, there's just another friendly face to help you navigate what I think when people are feeling particularly ill and vulnerable is even more overwhelming to try and understand.
Yeah, and we also host many grief workshops, and in fact, this holiday season, I think we're hosting like seven individual municipalities, a grief during the holidays, how to handle that. So. Have we tried to reduce our services to lesser revenue. No, in fact, we're trying to increase the amount of services that that we provide. I think having different revenue sources going forward will be kind of the name of the game. We're looking at mother-child healthcare, and we're looking at some potential palliative care.
We're really excited actually about the mother-child. Nobody wants to bundle their newborn baby up and go to a waiting area where people have all sorts of cooties. What can we do at home that's more convenient for you, where you don't feel pressured, where you have the time to ask all of the questions that you want to ask? We know that we live in more of a maternity desert now. And so if someone is a high risk maternal patient, to not have to go and drive 45 minutes to get to that appointment and instead have the visiting nurse come and dip your urine and check your blood pressure. So it's being met with very favorably. I think we're trying to be very cognizant of the true community needs and then to expand our services accordingly. And this is also where having differentiated service lines between the different organizations that serve the same catchment area is really important. So we're not going to have a hospice house. We're really grateful that Granite has invested that way. And that's wonderful, but that's not what our skill set is. And so it's nice that we can diversify that way and still meet all of the needs that the communities might have.
And other agencies we coordinate with, we share best practices with our peers, Lake Sunapee VNA, Franklin VNA, Granite. It's a kind of a small little world in this industry. So everybody in our building knows somebody in each of the other buildings. So yeah, we look to each other to say, hey, this is coming down the pike. How are you responding? So there's definitely there's a shared relationship and camaraderie between us, as well as a little competition. But
Yeah. But and we're all part of the same New Hampshire Home Care Alliance, and I think that's really important too. That we have access to the same education services. Our nurse practitioner, we're very privileged that we have a nurse practitioner on staff who provides education services to several of the other agencies, like on terminal agitation and hospice care is one example of a talk that she's given. We want to share what we know and lift all ships. Like we said, we want everybody's our neighbor, and we want you to have good care regardless of which agency it is that you're getting it from.
Yes, I have a couple of questions. And one here is that you had 363 residents' business access your your products in this
that's
year.
visits. Oh, is
Visits.
it the wrong line?
But it
Yeah,
was-
Well,
so
it
we had
just says
30.
who accessed your products or services. I mean, and when you
30.
said 30, yeah. And, but was that including maybe the,
No, that's our total visits that we have given. To
yeah, do you
individual
have
patients.
like a few years
Of data?
of data of how many
Yeah.
people
We can
you've
definitely
actually
get that to
in
you.
Tilton that you,
Of course.
Yeah.
helped? That would be good.
Yes.
I mean, the other thing I didn't really understand, and this is your profit and loss statement, but I was just not understanding. I mean, you have a 6 million income, and then you have wages and benefits, and I think that comes down to a total of 2,483,000. Okay, and then then you go into payroll for clinical. So what's the difference?
So the top section
Yeah.
is admin. That's all the administrative.
Oh, that's administration? Okay, okay. Okay. So then, then it's the total wages and salaries for both groups? Is that what
No, that would just be for the clinical.
yeah, see, it's just not very clear to me.
Well, 6,100 wages and salaries
That, yeah,
should be totaling 2,400,000 plus these other three. Because it's coded by the 600, the six. These are right here, right?
okay, so,
So here's your total for 60,100 should be including this and this, which would be 2 million plus these equals 3.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Right, because that's.
I'm gonna count it.
yeah. Well, so how am I reading this?
So really, you only need this total.
The 3
It's
million?
3,032,000.
Okay,
is
so
the
that's,
total.
yeah, so thought that was what I should do. Is
I'll
that-
add it up just to be sure.
that, and then, but then down here it says total operational expenses. Is that this, that's 4 million. So what does that, what does that mean?
Yeah, the operational expenses are the salaries related to our clinical staff only, not admin staff.
Okay. All right, because it didn't seem to add up to me.
Yeah, so if you, I'm sorry.
So, yeah, so this, because
Bill's
these
correct.
two are 5 million,
Yes.
but this is
Should be-
only 47, 4 million.
Bill, you're correct. It did not add up. So the 6,000 above, which is really 60, 10, 60, 80, 61. And then they call it a total of 6,000, which doesn't make sense when you have a total of 6,000,
mean 6 million?
60,100, but it's 5,326
6 million.
for the 3 million and 2
Yeah.
million.
But so the operational expenses is less than these two together. Is that right?
It should be.
Or
It's
this-
only clinical staff is our operational. Not, it does not include the administrative.
Okay, all right. I'll have to work
But
on
between that,
it. But yeah,
4,702,115.
so your income as a group is around 6 million. That's
Revenues, correct.
revenue. Okay.
Yeah.
okay. And then you work from that. Yeah. Okay.
Just to add on that, so we're talking, he's showing the income is 6 million, but all your payroll, which includes operational expenses, wages, is 10 million.
Is that right?
No.
That's,
It
this
says
is
the
2
total
million, 3
expenses,
million,
they
4
say it's
million.
8 million.
Well, you do have a loss of 1.3 million down here at the bottom. Whoever
Sure.
provided this. So that's 10 million there.
Nah, something's not.
Well, it's just hard for me to understand
Sure, I get you.
the way that that's written. Yeah.
Let me see where this 4703.
Go to the next one. It has it broken out.
Is it?
Profit and loss year to date.
Okay, I think I found the
It's broken out a
difference.
little clearer.
Is that a better breakdown? Or so I can understand it? Admin wages, okay, okay, there you go. Total operational expenses. Yeah, maybe.
Okay, here's how it goes. So this 3 million number adds with these four equaling this 4.7. So we can take this one out. So it's really 4.7 plus 24 is their overhead for payroll. So if I added 3,032,000 plus these four, it comes to 4,707,000. But this is not including it. So it's
So
plus-
over here is, I think, the same page, but maybe,
Well, you're still seeing the, yeah. So 47.
and then
So
somehow,
these aren't the
somehow,
same. This is
somehow
a
it gets,
different number.
somehow it
This
gets,
is a different number.
somehow it gets to 8 million down here. So
Mhm.
that's,
8201, like right here.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, so these breakdowns are a little different because they don't match these numbers.
Okay, well, I'll just go over it again.
I'll give you a cleaner sheet tomorrow.
Yeah, okay, great. That'd be nice.
3165.
Let's see, questions from the board?
I'm gonna have some.
Okay, go for it.
To add on to when you were talking about the 30, I heard 2 patients, so that got 4,000 charitable, right? So how
Yes.
many patients did you have with just Tilton?
It was 30,
So
including
all
the two.
these
So
visits are those 30 people?
that's correct.
Okay,
So an average of about, I don't know, what, 10 apiece, 10 to 12.
okay. And then you answered some as you went along. 'Cause you're gonna get that. So you applied for 2 grants. Are you continuing to keep applying for grants?
Yes, as they become available to us, yes. If they're
Okay.
in our
Do
realm.
you wait for them to come available or you seek them?
Well, both.
It looks like on your trial balance, which the top part is the balance sheet, you have a lot of outstanding accounts receivables. Are those like, because it's Matrix Care and MC Hospice, do they only send you payments like
So
quarterly or?
no, we're within, I'd say 30 to 40 days. It just, that's how much our revenue is monthly, 5, 6.
9 grand
100,000.
still outstanding as of
Mhm.
8/31. 900 grand.
Yeah,
Okay. That's a lot.
yeah.
And then on, I was looking at the comparison, income is definitely lower in 25 compared to the last 2 years. Is there anything significant that caused that? Was it all these payroll increases or something with the building happened? You got 2 buildings, it looks like.
Yeah, so
Has to be something
certainly,
major.
yep. So one was we did do a market analysis to ensure that all of our staff were being paid fairly and competitively. So there was a significant jump up for some people. But one of the other things that happened is we had a decline in our hospice census, which we've been building back up. The mainstay of revenue generation is through the hospice line of business. That's where reimbursement has stayed stable and is not at as big risk as the home care portion is. So as we continue to rebuild our hospice census, that too will reflect an increase in revenue. And we had some staff that needed to be replaced. So it wasn't just, do we have enough hospice patients? It's, do we have the appropriate staff to care for them? I'm very confident in the staff that we have. I think they're exceptional. But we do need that census. So you'd say, well, what's changed about your referral patterns and whatnot? A lot of times we have the patients, but we get them quite late, which is unfortunately antithetical to the philosophy of hospice. You should not be on hospice for the last 2 days of your life, and we see that. We end up taking that as a loss because all of the hospital equipment and things that people will need, unless it's being used for a certain amount of time, we have to cover that. This is all a long way of saying that there's a lot of opportunity to educate people around hospice, which is problematic because nobody wants to go to that hospice 101 talk, right? So how do we make sure that people do understand that they're entitled to have their value system reflected in their goals of care, and that there are opportunities to discuss those things so that you can have the end of life journey that I think everyone envisions and is just very hard to achieve when healthcare is designed to kind of keep you in the hospital.
So your bank accounts are down $1 million compared from last year. So that's all payroll? Because you didn't mention anything about building or any differences. You just upped everybody to meet.
Significant payroll, hiring, also to staff back up. So again, payroll and benefits, insurance, being able to provide appropriate health insurance is, a big issue that I think everybody's dealing with right now, and it's only getting higher.
We had a large cost for recruiting. That was 120,000 for, just recruiting alone to get these managerial positions filled by the best you could find. We went through preparedness and survey, which is sort of an audit that the Medicare group does. And we spent $40,000 one-time cost just to make sure that we would pass.
With flying colors.
With flying colors. So there were a lot of, due to the changes in management and over the past, I'd say 18 months or so, there was some one-time costs in this 1 year that we had to put in place to kind of right the ship.
So you have $1.3 million loss, but your reserve was $1.2 million. Is this $1.2 million after you took
Yes.
care of the? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm assuming these adjustments on your trial balance mean, okay, Medicare say, well, you can bill us for that, but you're not going to get that. Is that what the adjustment is?
Yeah. So there's, our auditors say, there's a certain amount of percentage you should write off just to be, kind of safe. And it, depending on the claim, it's between 10 and 20%.
And when they say you got to sort of write off, Is it really an expense or are you just adjusting it?
It's just
based
an
on your
adjustment
billing?
to show sort of a, you know, as of today, what this is worth and what we anticipate. Because there's always leakage, right?
Right,
We could send in a
so-
claim for $2,000.
But you're not gonna get the two, okay, that's what I was.
We might.
Because you made me nervous. I'm like, what? That's a
Yeah,
big
no, we
big
might.
idea
Yeah,
there.
yeah, no, we might get the 2,000, but you know, from a
Okay.
conservative standpoint, you know, you do an adjustment to say, you know, maybe there was an error in our claim or whatnot.
You can, if there's anybody else a question.
Anybody else have any questions?
Oh, you're asking great questions.
Yeah.
Um. Okay, see, the allowance for accounts receivable, those are bad debts, uncollectibles,
They are,
or another adjustment.
yeah, no, that would be another adjustment, but that would include what our bad debts are. But we continually try to collect. We go maybe 120 days, and then we'll write it off to charity.
Yeah, because then if you get it, you have to put in income.
Yes,
Double.
but we,
Yeah.
after collecting for that long, we typically, you know, we just said, we don't bother asking
Mhm.
for it
Yeah.
anymore.
Not in the business of harassing people.
Right.
Doesn't look like you have a lot of improvements, so the buildings must be in pretty good shape.
Yeah, in fact, we are looking to sell the Bristol building at this point, just to kind of consolidate all our resources, and frankly, get some cash in our reserve.
How many buildings do you have? or-
Just the two.
Just two? Okay,
Mhm.
yeah. Where's the other one? Lacone?
So Bristol and Meredith.
Meredith, okay.
I think that's it. I can't
If you
That-
think of
that-
anything
that-
else, you
yeah,
can ask
right,
us
right.
anytime.
Yeah, we just wanted the list of all the towns.
knew,
That's
so
the
I
only thing
was-
I have here,
Yeah.
that, all the list of the towns that
And there was
are-
another
are-
data we were
you're-
getting too.
Oh, I'll provide cleaner financials.
And a little,
Oh,
yeah, a little
okay.
better
Yeah,
breakdown there, so. We're not all accountants. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you
Yeah,
guys very
thank
much.
you.
We
I know
really
you guys
appreciate
are
your time.
valuable service, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
oh, and prior year,
Oh, yeah, right.
Tilton
Tilton
residents.
residents,
Mhm.
a
Yeah.
list
The
of the
trends.
prior year, the
Thank
trends,
you.
yeah,
I knew
that would
it
be
was-
great.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
Super.
Thanks.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone in the audience that wants to say anything? No? Okay.
For or against?
Huh?
For or against?
Well, just, yeah, any comments or, and there's nobody on the machine there. so-
There doesn't
Oh.
seem to be.
Okay, so,
Oh, yap. Oh.
what was that?
Pat had questions, but I think it was for a yap. Was it?
Yeah, you have a question? Yeah.
But they're gone.
Oh, did you want us to relay a question for you? Okay, we could do that if you want. Now we'll go to the minutes. October 22nd and 29th.
1 second. Get these away here first. I really don't know she's in. Which one? 29th?
We have the
22nd.
October 22nd and the 29th too.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the October 22nd as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the ayes have it.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes of October 29th as presented.
We have a second?
Sure, I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Good. All right, good job. And we did receive some, we got the
Yeah.
library info.
The library information that you, that you had all asked for, the library, the minutes for the trustees that dealt with the bidding and the budget and stuff. There's the two P&Ls. Let's see, oh no, I gave my thing to Pat, so I don't have it in front of me now.
Okay, well, we should go over that, and if there's any questions, because it'll be 2 weeks before we.
Before you see them again, yeah.
Yeah, go over those, the material. If you find anything you need, just get in touch with Sue.
Yeah, my schedule changed, so I will be in the office Wednesday and Thursday next week after all. So I'm so glad to have the 2 weeks in between because
Sure.
to help me catch up on some things.
So are we, do we just have the Hall Memorial left?
No, CAP,
Cap,
they
okay.
had a conflict. They couldn't come tonight.
So can they make
so-
on the 19th?
Yeah, come on the 19th. So I
Okay.
thought we'd do them first because they'll probably be the quicker one
Okay,
over the
yeah.
library.
Okay, right.
And also I wanted to know if you guys wanted to schedule December 3rd for Tim to come in with the budget. That sound
Wow.
okay for you?
Sure,
Yeah, okay.
sounds good.
Selectmen's will be done by then?
I don't know. I don't know if you wanted to review it with him. I mean, we can go for a different date if you want.
No, we want it. We want our own, yeah.
Yeah, we
Okay.
should.
So December 3rd.
Mhm, that sounds good.
And then did you want the sewer and Lockmere to come in?
That could be separate, I think.
Well, not the same day. I just
Right,
meant,
right.
did
The
you
town
want them to
budget,
come
we're gonna
in?
want to spend the whole day, whole night there.
It's pass through.
Yeah, right, yeah, yeah.
Well,
So
it's
do you
not
need them to
pass-through
come
ours,
in,
but
or
they
do you
make
just want to
their
see their
income and pay their
budgets?
expenses, yeah.
Yeah, we could just see their budget, and then if we have questions, and we have Joe here as a representative.
Of the water district.
Okay, so just get their budgets and not schedule them at this time?
Sure.
Okay, I don't know that they'll be
Both
ready.
sewer
but-
and the water,
Our
yeah.
budget
Yeah.
was, we had a
Up
budget
there.
meeting last night and our budget is finalized. We'll have a clean copy on December 3rd.
Great.
Okay, so I'll work on getting those. That might be a little bit before, because I don't know that the sewer's
Sure.
done yet or anything,
Yeah.
so. Those are my questions for other business.
So it's the 19th and the 3rd?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll set the 3rd up.
We've got the Hall Memorial and the cap on the 19th, and then the town on the 3rd.
Yeah, so anything you guys send me, I'll get that out to them next week. If there's any other questions for any of the agencies you've already seen or the ones that are coming in.
Yeah.
The question sheet seemed to have worked out for,
Yeah, that was good. You-
Yeah, they came with
Went-
responses.
Right?
I love those. I was like, somebody's prepared. I leave mine because I don't put notes on it, so we can have it for next week.
I have many copies.
Motion to adjourn.
We have a second?
Second.
Aye.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Too bad.
Thank you, Joe.
Have a good time.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.